Hey, fellow real estate investors, are you looking for a platform to list your rental property? As a landlord, it's important to have the largest pool of quality applicants within a short span of time. In this video, I'll show you how I use Zillow Manager to list my rentals. This is going to be part one of a two-part series of using Zillow Manager. My name is Ariel Herrera, your fellow data scientist with the AnalyticsAriel channel, where we bridge the gap between real estate and technology. I love using tools to automate and manage my processes more efficiently. And if you do too, please be sure to subscribe to my channel to get the latest content in tech and real estate. As well, like this content if you want to see more landlord tool related videos. All right, let's get started. Great, so right now I'm on Zillow's home page. And I've used different tools in order to list my rental properties, such as Cozy, putting it on Facebook Marketplace. However, I found that Zillow is really starting to be the winner here in having an all-in-one platform, and I'll explain why. So what we need to do in order to use Zillow Manager is to have a Zillow account, which is free. As well, as of right now, it is free in order to list your rental properties if you have a low volume of them. Now what you're going to do is once you enter into Zillow, you're going to click Manage Rentals, and you're going to see there's a lot of information here where you could actually look at your listings, leases, payments, and more. I'm just going to click the actual Manage Rentals at the moment. Now I have two of my properties listed on Zillow. I've used one in the past just for putting my lease and being able to have it signed. And I've learned that Zillow has really taken over, even making leases so simple, where that process that I did a year ago is completely archaic to like what you could use Zillow for today. So if you don't have any properties here, you can add a property. It's free. It's not going to list it automatically. You could just have it there to be tracked. And then once you do, the first step, which we're going to cover in this video, is actually finding tenants. So let's go to one of my properties here. We're going to click Find Tenants. And it's really nice. You're going to get a layout where you have your address on top. It's going to show off market because you haven't listed it yet. There's two tabs, Find Tenants, which is for this video, Manage Tenants, which we'll speak about in the following video. On the bottom, we have Listing. It shows Inactive. And we could see that there's comparable properties. So what's great is that right away, if we don't even know what our property should be renting for, we could start looking at comparables. So if we click this, within South Amboy, based on my property, it's saying the rent Zestimate should be about $2,028 a month. It gives as well as a scale on the low and on the high end. If we look down, there's a lot more information that I feel like is really, really useful. We could see active rentals and off-market. Active are purple, off-market are gray. We could filter if we only want to look at properties that are the exact same bedrooms or a specific home type. And we could see those properties here on the map. Then we could take it a step further where it shows our property, what the Zestimate for renting is. And on the left-hand side, it shows properties that are either previously rented or currently renting or on the market that are lower than what they say ours should go for, and also on the higher end. So what I would use this for is quickly be able to see, okay, this property, 218 George Street, is 0.2 miles away, 3-bed, 1-bath. It is a larger space. However, it doesn't have a laundry, which mine does. It also says no pets, which mine allows. I could look to see how the finishes were done in this property. And we could see the appliances look to be pretty new. Looks to have central air, which in South Amboy, a lot of the houses are older and sometimes don't have that. Looks to have a double vanity sink. Doesn't really look to have a backyard per se, at least one that's acceptable to put on a photo. So I do know that my property does have an advantage there, which maybe could make me feel more comfortable for putting it for a higher price. So the way I would work through this is just kind of going through properties on either end, making sure I'm looking at properties that are not too far away and that have similar type of attributes to mine. Then once I feel comfortable, I could also go down here and get more information on guides on how to actually price the rental property. I suggest going for the higher end, and after a week, if no one's tried to put an application in, then start bringing it down. So if we go back to our Zillow Rental Manager, say if we know, we want to put this property for $2,200, we're allowing pets as well. Well, the next step would be to actually list the property. If we click list the property, we can put how much monthly rent we're going to put it for, which in this case, I said last was $2,250. And we can specify attributes in case maybe you just recently redid the property, you added an extra bedroom or bathroom, make sure you put that here. And then you also want to set the date that the property will be available, usually either the 1st of the month or the 15th, how long the lease is, and then specify what amenities are available, as well specify a description. So what I like to do for descriptions is I go to major cities like Jersey City, and I'll look for what the rentals descriptions are there, and I'll just copy it and then kind of modify it for my town, South Amboy, and then paste it. So here I have enjoy all that life in the heart of South Amboy has to offer in this splendid home renovated in 2019. Literally copy this from a Jersey City posting and just change Jersey City to South Amboy. So you don't have to be too creative, but just make sure yours stands out. It also has it broken out where you can write a little bit more details for the lease summary, which I put here that I pay for sewer and tenant is responsible for any gas, electric, and water. I also have up here small pets allowed. Then if you want to put 3D tour, you could do that as well. And then you're able to drop in photos too. Then you can also put in your contact information, which for your phone, I highly suggest that you use Google Voice to get a phone number that's not exactly your own, but you still get forwarding. That way, if you're managing the property yourself, you can still be able to communicate with your tenants without having them have exact access to your phone number. And I have here checked off, allow renters to contact you by phone. Then you can also set what days are available for the tours. So one of the things I don't like when I put my property on the market for Facebook Marketplace is everyone's asking me, we're just going back and forth on, oh, can I come at this time? No, can you come at this time? It's like this back and forth nonsense, to be honest. So it's a lot easier if you use something like Zillow that sets the tour availability right away. What I absolutely love is this part, Zillow applications. So what's really neat is from the renter's perspective, a tenant's perspective, is that if they're looking to rent in your area, so in this case, South Amboy, they could pay $30 flat. They get their credit report, background check, employment history, and income documents, and they can apply to say like 10 listings. So it's really easy from their perspective. So you're going to get more people possibly just filling out all this information and doing this because they're able to do this at scale. So you can get more applicants. So I put here, yes, receive Zillow applicants. And at the end, you would just put publish listing. Now going to a property that I recently listed back in June, once you actually list the property, you're now going to get this part on the right-hand side being filled out, which is interested renters. So you're going to get inquiries and applications. So these are two separate things. Inquiries may have messages like, hey, I have a big dog, but it's an emotional pet. Is this okay? Someone's messaging you. Applications is different, is that someone's actually gone through the process or is currently in it of actually submitting that they want to be in your property and they are sending in the employment, the credit check, all of that. So what's great is you can click view all applications, which all these applications, believe it or not, came within a 36-hour time frame. Now you're going to have a list of completed applications as well as a list of withdrawn applications and applications in progress. Now going back to completed applications, if you've already invited someone to move in, it'll say invited to move in as well. If two people are applying together versus a single applicant, you'll see that as well. So I'm going to just click this one. You're quickly going to be able to see information like total income, how much is that times the rent, the move-in date that they're expecting, if they're smokers or not, and then if there's any notes, like maybe a pet that they have. Then you're also going to see information on their credit report, background check, which in this case it's expired. It's over 30 days since they filled out the application, and you'd be able to detail that. So it's just so easy to have everything in one single platform because one, it makes it easy for you to compare who's the most viable as a tenant. And then it's better for the tenant's perspective because since you're so organized, you're going to make a lot faster decision. And if it's no for them, they can move on quickly. In addition, I didn't mention this before, but once you post your listing on Zillow, it's also being posted on Trulia, which is owned by Zillow, as well as HotPads. So it's not just one single platform, you're going to have this exposed onto others. Now in the next video, I'm going to detail the managed tenant side of the Zillow Manager, which really shows the 360 view and how valuable this tool really has become over the last year. All right, if you haven't already subscribed, please do, and leave any comments below on the tools that you currently use to list your properties. Thanks.